had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Tennessee Titans and the Washington Commanders. Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Henry. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give them the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. And 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Tannehill's throw on target to Burks. A big play that time for the Titans. 47 yards.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, out of my way, and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Jamin Davis, the one to get up from his linebacker spot and make that play.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Tannehill going to get this forward on the jet sweep.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9.
Nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Tannehill. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Nick Westbrook-Akine. His first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are on the board first here this afternoon. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Gibson again. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run with Gibson. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
There's no doubt that Curtis Samuel and Washington would both welcome a redo at his first year there. Injuries kept him to less than 100 snaps across 5 games. Everyone's hoping a return to health gets him back on track, where he's making a push for his first 1,000-yard season in Carolina. That catch there, good for a first down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Wentz. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good, way wide to the left. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving it.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Wentz. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Titans are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Wentz. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach tell us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Fields it right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Throwing on second and long. Wentz. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays. But you also have to have good feel as well, because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Washington takes over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here we go. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his... work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB.
This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down. A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Howell tried to pick it up on 3rd. That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out in the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson down to about the 45.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 45-yard
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Howell. Oh, he still brings it in off the tip here on the deep shot.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
J.D. McKissick, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead now down to 20.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And Hilliard will elect to not return it. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Johnson on the return.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. 1st down, Howell to throw. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half.
Taken from about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
That one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and they will not be able to add on to their 20-point lead.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
They'll try the left side with Gibson.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Excellent job on the tackle for loss by Harold Landry, shooting into the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I certainly felt for Sam Howell watching him fall from a possible first-round pick at one point all the way to day 3 of the draft, but it's just extra fuel for a guy now who drew comparisons to some of the league's most fiery competitors at quarterback. When he gets into a tough spot, Howell knows how to create and make some impressive reads and also some impressive runs, and I think that's how he'll succeed as an NFL quarterback.
Second and 7. Straight ahead, Gibson.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down forthcoming.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll go. It's Gibson.
And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure he got the 1st down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
They'll try to run with Gibson, and he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson,
his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that cuts this lead down to 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Now Tannehill with a little touch pass to his wideout.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Tannehill.
And that's complete to Westbrook-Akine.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. A 1st down carry for Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left for being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Henry again on second down. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it again with Henry. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Off play action, Tannehill. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Kendall Fuller. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Thomas has got it, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Fourth down, Howell, desperation time. It's complete, swings it out to his running back. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand the field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Howell. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Washington. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback, and when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. And a
a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Hilliard. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up, and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Elsewhere, a fourth-quarter score now from Tampa. And the Falcons sort of opening things up there. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Now throwing on 1st down here.
The win would be their 2nd on the young season. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
And he's got some space here.
On the move past the 40.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 28-yard line.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
2nd and 11. With a play fake, and now here's Howell to throw it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he finds McLaurin. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. He's a little too aggressive there from his Mike linebacker spot.
Sometimes you jump into gaps trying to draw them off sides. This time he tricked himself.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Third and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Powell to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, they've got 1 chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Fourth down. Howell. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the 4th quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement.
Tannehill intercepted again. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick. Well, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Commanders,